Well, breaking this morning, South Korea's president urges the U.S. and North Korea to lower the bar for bilateral talks, while a North Korean envoy says his country is open to discussions with the U.S. So what do the North Koreans really want? Joining us to help figure it out, retired U.S. Air Force Lieutenant General David Deptula. General, thanks for being with us.
Great to be with you, John.
Does this suggest that the North Koreans all of a sudden wanting to talk to the United States, does it suggest that those sanctions imposed by Washington are starting to bite, or is there something else afoot here?
Well, first off, any attempt to communicate to prevent the use of arms in open conflict is welcome. And I would suggest to you that the actions on behalf of the United States to date may indicate, because of this outreach and openness to talk now, that the desired effects that the United States is attempting to achieve are in fact working, and sanctions are part of that. Sanctions backed up with diplomacy that is fully backed up with the force that the United States can wield.
The White House has said that the era of strategic patience is over when it comes to North Korea. Has administration policy demonstrated that?
I think it has, John. I think that what's been coming out of the administration has gotten the attention of the North Korean regime, and they understand that they can do one of two things. They can either move toward denuclearization and have their regime remain in place, or the other option, if they don't, is to see their regime eliminated. It's as stark as that.
The Olympics are officially over now. The North got quite a pot of good publicity as a result of, sending Kim Jong-un's sister and so forth to the games. Should we expect, new misbehavior from them now that they're not so much front and center on the world stage?
Well, I think it is difficult to anticipate, on the one hand, what might come out of the North Koreans. But one thing I would caution is the overlaying of U.S. perspectives on North Korean intentions. This is a regime that's very much different in terms of the way it acts on the international stage, much less how it treats its own people, subjugates them to the most onerous conditions, and murders, quite frankly, hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of their own citizens.
General Jack Keane, who is one of our Fox military analysts, has been on this program a number of times, suggesting that he advocates a total naval blockade of North Korea. What do you think about that?
Well, I think that the United States military, as General Mattis has stated several times, has a spectrum of options, of which blockade is one. But all of the particular tactical or operational level actions really need to be based on the circumstances of the time, which gets us back to the issue of discussions and diplomacy. The one thing I would caution is we've got to be careful in terms of listening to what the North Koreans have to say. They may, in fact, just be using this as an overture to buy time to build up the capability and capacity of their nuclear force. John, I think it's important for your audience to remember that since 1994, the North Koreans have promised in writing and verbally to denuclearize over 20 times. So the only thing that they really pay attention to is hard power, and that's what the administration is backing up its discussions with.
A lot of broken promises on the peninsula.
Yes, sir.
Retired Air Force Lieutenant General David Deptula, thanks for being our guest today.
You bet.